The Albion CX22S was one of the most capable heavy artillery tractors built in Britain during the Second World War. Designed and manufactured by Albion Motors of Glasgow, Scotland, this 6x4 vehicle became a key element of British and Allied logistics between 1943 and 1945. It was based on Albion's pre-war heavy commercial chassis, but re-engineered for military duty to tow large artillery pieces, heavy engineering trailers, and other cumbersome loads that smaller trucks could not handle. The CX22S combined reliability, strong pulling power, and relative simplicity, making it an indispensable vehicle during the final years of the conflict. Production of the Albion CX22S began in November 1943 and continued until June 1945. Only 532 examples were produced, which makes it one of the rarer British wartime heavy vehicles. The relatively small number was due to its specialized nature and the limited industrial capacity available in wartime Britain. Albion already produced large numbers of lighter trucks, and the CX22S represented a more complex and expensive design that was reserved for specific units requiring maximum towing performance. Most CX22S tractors entered service in 1944, just in time for the Allied invasion of Europe, and served mainly in artillery and engineering units. At the core of the Albion CX22S was the Albion EN244 diesel engine, a six-cylinder, inline, water-cooled unit with a displacement of 9,085 cubic centimeters, approximately 554 cubic inches. It produced 100 brake horsepower at 1,750 revolutions per minute, and some variants were rated slightly higher at 105 horsepower at 1,850 revolutions per minute. The engine delivered a maximum torque of around 407 newton-meters, roughly 300 pound-foot, which allowed the vehicle to move extremely heavy loads at low speeds. This combination of moderate horsepower and high torque made the CX22S an ideal tractor for artillery towing, where controlled pulling power was more important than speed. The drivetrain featured a 6x4 configuration, with power transmitted to both rear axles through a robust gearbox system. It used a 4-speed main gearbox combined with a 2-speed auxiliary unit, effectively providing 8 forward ratios. This gearing arrangement gave the CX22S the ability to crawl slowly under maximum load or travel more efficiently when conditions allowed. Its chassis was built as a strong ladder frame reinforced with deep crossmembers. The suspension used semi-elliptic leaf springs, capable of carrying heavy stress without failure. The steering system was manual but geared for leverage, requiring significant strength from the driver when maneuvering at low speeds. The overall length of the Albion CX22S was 7.62 meters, approximately 25 feet, with a width of 2.4 meters, around 8 feet, and a height of 3.25 meters, about 10 feet 8 inches. Its unladen weight reached 10,610 kilograms, approximately 23,400 pounds. The maximum road speed was about 45 kilometers per hour, roughly 28 miles per hour, but in practice, when towing large artillery or equipment, it usually traveled much slower. The vehicle's fuel capacity was sufficient for long-distance operations, and its diesel engine provided improved economy compared to petrol engines of similar output. Ground clearance was generous for its class, allowing it to handle rough terrain, although the 6x4 configuration meant it was not a true off-road vehicle like some tracked tractors. One of the CX22S's most important features was its powerful winch system. The winch, mounted centrally under the body, was rated for an 8-ton pull. It was essential for moving guns into firing positions, recovering stuck vehicles, or handling heavy loads in workshops and depots. The winch drum was driven through a power takeoff from the gearbox, and its control system allowed careful regulation of speed and tension. This feature turned the CX22S into a versatile recovery and engineering vehicle beyond its main artillery towing role. The Albion CX22S was mainly used to tow heavy artillery pieces, such as the British 6-inch and 7.2-inch howitzers, and the American 155mm long tom guns. It also hauled heavy engineer trailers carrying bridge sections, bulldozers, or other military equipment. Despite its limited production, the CX22S served across various theaters of operation, including Northwest Europe after D-Day in 1944. It proved reliable under difficult battlefield conditions, often working in muddy, bomb-damaged terrain where maintaining traction and stability was vital. In terms of design, the CX22S featured a functional, utilitarian cab. The body was constructed from steel panels on a wooden frame, typical for wartime production. The cab accommodated a driver and a co-driver, with a large windscreen and simple instrumentation. Behind the cab, the rear platform carried spare wheels, towing equipment, and the winch gear. The tires were large, deep-treaded units that provided improved grip on rough ground. The braking system was air-assisted mechanical, offering consistent stopping performance even when towing heavy weights. Although the Albion CX22S was not as well known as the Scammell Pioneer, it offered several advantages. It was easier to manufacture, had fewer complex mechanical parts, and was more fuel-efficient on roads. The 6x4 layout provided adequate traction for most conditions, while maintaining better road performance than heavier or tracked alternatives. Its straightforward mechanical construction also meant that field repairs could be made using standard tools, an important advantage for Army workshops working under pressure. Technically, the CX22S achieved an excellent balance between towing strength, reliability, and maintainability. The combination of its large displacement diesel engine and low gearing allowed it to haul loads up to 29 tons, including gun and trailer. Its estimated towing power and winch capacity made it one of the most capable wheeled tractors of its time. The gearbox ratios ensured smooth operation at both slow and moderate speeds, and the transmission system was noted for durability even after long use in harsh environments. After the war, many CX22S vehicles were repurposed for civilian duties. Some served in heavy industry, construction, and recovery work. Others were sold into private hands, and a few have survived to this day in museums and private collections across the United Kingdom. Restored examples reveal the strength and practicality of Albion's engineering, and they continue to draw attention from historians and collectors interested in Britain's industrial and military heritage. The Albion CX22S represents an important chapter in British wartime vehicle development. It shows how engineers and manufacturers adapted commercial technology to meet the demands of total war. Its combination of a reliable diesel engine, robust chassis, and versatile mechanical layout provided an effective answer to the shortage of heavy towing vehicles in the British Army. Even though it was produced in relatively small numbers, the CX22S earned a reputation for dependable performance, simplicity, and toughness, qualities that ensured it would remain a respected machine among those who operated it. Today, the Albion CX22S remains a symbol of Britain's mechanical resilience during wartime. It reminds us that progress is not only about innovation, but also about determination and resourcefulness. It was a product of necessity, built with the materials and technologies available, and it fulfilled its mission with reliability and strength. Through this vehicle, we can still trace the story of how industry and engineering served the front lines, turning steel and diesel into the power that helped move an army to victory. If you enjoy learning about historical military vehicles and their engineering stories, remember to subscribe. More rare and fascinating machines like the Albion CX22S are waiting to be rediscovered, each with its own remarkable legacy and contribution to history.